Well, welcome to our first podcast. It is spring in wine country here. I'm Joe Wagner. I am a West Coast winemaker. And we thought it'd be important to talk about winemaking, entrepreneurship, and whatever the fuck else we want to talk about. We got my sidekick here. His name is Fat Mario, a.k.a. Chris Rubio, and he does a lot of social media stuff. And so we're going to ping back and forth, have a little fun, talk a little trash, and go through some segments. So, do we want to just intro the segments right now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So we're going to be talking about winemaking and TikTok.
Then we're going to jump into wine events.
Hey, we're back at it. The masks are off.
Yeah? It's going to be
we're
fun.
having fun in the festivals. And then lastly, I just want to know why the hell you started a podcast, but because we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Why did I start a podcast? Because I want to be a pain in the ass to everybody. But no, I hope everybody out there learns something. That's what we're trying to do. And we want to be interactive with this, have a little fun, and answer questions. So feel free to interact with us, and we'll do our very damn best to get back to you all on whatever it is you guys are curious about regarding wine, entrepreneurship, or whatever the fuck. Let's jump in. Let's jump in with winemaking and TikTok, all right? Or social media in general. So, what do you think about TikTok in general?
TikTok in general, I think it's a wild ride, right? It's always evolving. I feel like there's these trends happening. There's things that are catchy. Things can be really cool for one day, and then it's on to the next. I think it was at first when I was a couple years ago looking through it, it was kind of I just thought it was a bunch of the youngsters just dancing.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too.
This is, I don't know if this is for us or for me. But now look where you are. Now you're on TikTok.
I can't believe it actually, because I'm a very private guy by nature, but at the urging of you and the social media people, it was we got to get out there and start talking about wine. And well, first I should say that my concern with TikTok from the beginning was that we're now teaching people to have no more than a 15-second attention span.
Yeah.
Whereas we're ruining society by allowing this into our culture. Because those things are just it's such garbage material by and large. You're people spend hours on this, just watching people dance and do, tricks and gigs and whatever, and you're there's no value being brought to it. But what happened in the last year was that TikTok actually seemed to become a viable platform for education. And when we started talking about it, it was well, what can we do on TikTok to differentiate, and most importantly, how do we get this next generation into enjoying wine? And then we started seeing the trend of people that were, not 15, but they're 20s, 30s, 40s, getting into TikTok and using it as not just a platform for education when there are educators on there, but also for personal learning. So that kind of trend, and it keeps going that direction. And we were yeah, let's jump in. And I had to let my hair down a little bit.
Dancing and singing in the vineyards to education.
It is education and entertainment. I think you have a mix.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is the comments. I love hate mail. I love hate mail.
Well, we're going to go over some of our recent videos, some of the stuff that we've done that you've jumped into, and I think we'll be able to read some of these interesting comments that you get, and then you get to reply to them.
Yeah.
With video. So
that is one thing I do love about TikTok. So TikTok, you post a video and there's always questions, right? So it could be the most recent one was about the wax. Why do we use wax on Belle Gloss? And or we were actually doing a video of waxing Belle Gloss in different ways, and then there were a few comments in there that were not so savory. And so I responded with 3 different videos, and you can peg them.
Okay,
to the original videos.
You can pin them. You can pin them. Did you say peg?
I like pegging better.
You peg?
Pegging?
You like pegging? Hey, can we Google pegging right now? Joe. Okay, look, he just got into TikTok, so can we just look what that looks like?
IT's gonna kill you. IT will kill you.
We'll revisit that later.
Okay, so you're pinning.
You're pinning. Not pegging, but you
pin. Okay.
We're moving on.
and so you get to respond to people directly with a video. So I look at it as a great way for us to be able to be, more involved in what the curiosities of the viewers are, because you have a broad array. You have people that have never even tasted wine, probably, all the way up to people who are the biggest connoisseurs of wine. So I'm actually liking TikTok.
Yeah, and I'm liking doing it and see you just like jump in and get a little crazy with it.
You want to talk about some of the criticism?
Yeah.
See, we got it up on the screen over here.
We could start with let's bring up the three styles of wax, or did you want to jump into
let's start with the 3 styles of wax. We got some because this one really did start it all. And it was like some of the answer questions were like, why waste all that wax? What's the point? And so waxing actually creates more of a beneficial environment for the wine inside. So you don't have all of this oxygen interacting with the wine through the cork as you do with foil, which is your standard capsule. So with wax, we see our wines age much longer, and for that, I think it's got a huge benefit. Now we were screwing around doing some deep dips and crazy dips and whatever else because there's like an artist in all of us, and so we got people being like that it's ugly, it's hard to open, whatever else. So I did some educational videos on the benefits of wax, how easy it is to open, some tricks of the trade that we've learned, etc. And of course, it is a beautiful look. So I like that part about it myself. But getting into the responses, what I like is that I can just say, if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. I mean, how simple is that?
We're going to get to that video right now. The video that we're watching here was like more educational. I liked how you're going through all the different dips, it's like the traditional and let everyone see. But I feel like you're saucy this morning. Can we go, Sabina, can you bring up the why we use wax? Because this was great. We just did this we were in Charleston. And we had an awesome bartender allowed us to get behind the bar here. But it's crazy how a lot of questions come up about just how to even open the bottle, why the wax and stuff. So here, let's free. So the video right here, what we're watching, right? You're just going through a simple of why you use the wax on TikTok. Yeah. And let's see what some let's see what some of the people say. People are also asking, why is this man so attractive? I mean, you've been getting... Can I just start with... Actually, let's go with a love. I like it. Thanks, Sabina. No, because you've been getting, like, a lot of love. And it's from all different people, from all different kinds of backgrounds and types and everything like that. I love it.
I'll take a compliment. Yeah. I'll compliment anytime I can get it. Okay? I don't care if it's a lady or a dude. Like, it's still a compliment, and it fills my soul.
Oh, hell yeah. Count that.
Yeah, I count it. Exactly.
Check it. Feel good about yourself.
So, but first of all, I was wasted when we did that video. Because it was like,
you guys have to watch this video.
It was late night. I don't know how I wasn't slurring my words.
Okay.
It was like, and I was just responding, but and I was feeling a little saucy.
But I like how you explained it. So I mean, as you know, like, it's just a simple video, but it's great because you're telling people it's not just because it looks sexy, that it also has an efficient way to keep your wine good.
Absolutely, that's it. And so without TikTok, we would not have been able to educate such a broad audience. I mean, I think our biggest post was over 10 million views, right? This industry is so traditional. Like, you would think that it's stuck in like 1920. And it kind of is, but we're seeing more innovation now. We're seeing people get out of their shell. And I felt like it was not just an opportunity, but kind of an obligation for me to be out there and put myself out there to help educate, because wine is a beautiful product, and a lot of people don't even have the opportunity to try it for the first time. But as far as what it brings to the table, literally to the table, food and wine pairings, it is. There's no better beverage, whether it's street tacos and chilled Pinot, or salmon and Chardonnay, or spicy Thai food and a red blend. Like, you can get away with almost everything. There's a perfect wine for every pairing. So, and I'm actually thankful for TikTok, and I'm thankful for Instagram, because I think it's a good way for us to connect.
And I like how you said bring out, getting the stuffiness out of it, because you also have stuff like the video, the HQ office tour,
Oh yeah.
You were like hopping, because like the trends, right? I mean, they come and go, and we're more, I know we like to focus on, I know you like to really get the educational factor out there, but then also taking the stuffiness out to be like, hey, we have fun out here.
Yeah.
So like with that video, can you bring it up, because It had the specific hand gesture that the Italian.
Oh,
The exclamation. It was fun, man. But I like that, like you could, in these videos and stuff like that, going around taking people on a tour of your winery, and then like also including the fun trends and dancing around.
And that took us like 2 minutes to do the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
And I had like just come from the caves. You can still see dirt on my pants. And then next thing you know, I got a bear costume on, and we're just fucking around with wine and doing this Italian hand.
I think the bear costume really excited like a good group of your fans. The
bears! I love the bears.
We got a lot of great comments. I love it.
Come on, all you bears out there, man! Keep on viewing and whatever else. We love you guys. We support you guys. And I love the compliments. Really,
yeah.
it does fill my soul.
All the love, love it.
All right, you want to? I mean, why don't we just shoot a TikTok real quick? Make this super easy.
Yeah.
Do you want to use your phone, because my phone is actually
just
broken
shoot this
right
thing. Why is your phone broken?
I still don't know why you have two phones.
It's
questionable. Are you doing like a side hustle?
Why are you trying to just blow me up right now? Having two phones is so weird. It's a personal phone and a work phone.
You know what? While you're getting that ready, one of my favorite TikToks was the one about that wine that was just like brown, looked like soda. You remember that one? And I was just like, because it was more education. I took the brand out of it because I didn't want people to know what the brand was that made that wine. They're a very popular Oregon winery, but it was an atrocity to have a wine like that in bottle. And I would be, I'm just watching it now. God, it's...
Wait.
Yeah, I mean the color of that wine and the taste, it was horrible. So it was just out of Willamette Valley, and they just botched the winemaking, and there, I wish there was more like quality control from even from like an oversight perspective, because that's getting away with murder right there. Yeah, but that was a good one.
Look at those color comparisons.
I know.
Seriously, people can't see it.
Oh, but we got hate mail for that, because some people don't like our style of Pinot Noir. They want something like really traditional and light. I like to feel my wines and taste my wines. I want them to have heavy impact and like really expressive of the place that they're grown. And that's not like the most traditional mindset. Like the most traditional mindset is you're making this really delicate, mild, high acid style. And it's like, that's not representing our coast here.
Yeah.
And where we grow our grapes. Like, to maximize what Mother Nature gave us, it would be a disservice to go with like a recipe-based winemaking process, which is more of the traditional way. So for us, it's more like, how do we make it loud? How do we get all of those bits and pieces from Mother Nature that are in those grapes, pull them out of the grapes, and then get them set in the wine? And that's but that's again the beauty of wine, right? You have so much diversity, not just in what people prefer, but also in winemaking practices. So
yeah,
if you don't like our wines, you can get on the internet and complain. It's that easy.
and then if you're lucky, you might get penned.
Yeah, I will come and peg you.
This is actually a good time to do the video now.
Okay.
Whatever. Okay, so here we're just gonna do a quick 15-second. All right, you ready?
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna flip it over here, and I'm gonna. Yo, we're just like on a podcast right now. You don't believe us?
Truly.
Hey guys!
It's our first. We got the team over there.
Go team!
They don't know what we're doing, but they're in for it. They're gonna try. All right, and there you have it. Intro on TikTok about winemaking on TikTok.
Okay, now, oh man, I can do this forever.
All right,
slow fun editing stuff. Sorry, I'm busy.
All right, let's jump into the next segment.
All right.
All right, now we're talking about wine events, because
wine events. We're back.
It's a new style of wine event. First of all, I mean, we finally 2022, things are opening back up. The crazy thing is, like, everything from 2020 and 2021 that got canceled, they're like all fitting it into like summer of 22. So there's a lot of travel. It's a ton of fun though. But I mean, I think we should just talk about wine events first. So we just got back from Charleston.
Yeah.
Charleston Wine and Food.
It was a blast.
Great city, first of all. Highly recommend it if anybody has not gone there. It is like, that place is beautiful, tons of history, great food. Great nightlife too. I mean, we ended up doing karaoke, went to a nightclub, and, like made some bad decisions, but that's what those moments are for.
That was pretty wild because I know we got in late when we got in,
Yeah.
and we weren't expecting to kind of go out, but
Well, there's a funny story. We don't need to get into the whole thing, but we both ended up like in our own hotel rooms, and like there was no food at the hotel, so we're like, all right. We both had the same idea. We ended up both in the lobby, like trying to find food. We ended up going to a pizza parlor, and above the pizza parlor, I was like, "What the hell is that noise?" Because it was just like stomping. And they're like, "Oh, there's a karaoke bar upstairs. You could bring your pizza up there." And we're like, "Sweet." So we went and ate our pizza up there, and I ended up singing Britney Spears, "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time."
I like how you're like
This
I ended up like all of a sudden like you got hit by "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time."
Yeah, it was just like.
But I feel like you were like, hey, like you were ready, man. The way you sing it.
All I know is that when you are just in, you have that moment. It was like I had 30 minutes and pizza. And I was like, I'm singing, pizza, bed. Like that was it.
Yeah.
What was interesting about that event, and I'm seeing this like through other events too,
Yeah.
how percentage-wise of all the booths that were there, how many booths were wine booths?
I'm gonna call it 25%.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I mean, because we're there at the booth, and obviously, like we were jamming. I'm not like trying to like toot horns or anything. It was great. We had a lot of support, which I really appreciate. I feel like people really like showing us love, and we were really packed. But like the feedback I was getting from people coming in as you're pouring was that, it was like not as much wine as they expected. Like even I think I've even heard like comments, about like 25% a quarter wine because there was cocktails being served. There's craft beers. There's food.
Provisions too. There's like a whole tent for shopping from like artisan, leather makers, artisan knife makers, like super cool stuff that does kind of pertain a lot to. They all had something to pertain to food and wine, but it was not a wine event so much. It was like Coachella, or like Stagecoach, but around food and wine and spirits because there were a lot of mixologists there doing their thing and like. Anything you want. I mean, people spend like 3 days at these things, and there's tons of activities beyond like what's in the tents, and it's just like there's like chill stations. Like it was a cool event, and I'm seeing that like that's becoming the norm. There's still the old classic like you go into a big room, a big ballroom at a hotel, and you taste through a whole bunch of like the finest wines in the world. Like there are still those for more of like the aficionados, but what I'm seeing is that they're up in their game and they're turning it into like music festival around wine and food, and there is live music. There's great chef demonstrations. Like it was a blast, and what I love most is like all of the bullshit was done. Nobody had masks on. Everybody's just ready to have a good time, and everybody felt safe. That was good.
Yeah, and so you were saying like you've noticed like evolvement from past like experience like you're like this is now it's like a lot more like festivals. People are just coming out, guns blazing. They're like.
And it's fun. It's entertainment. I mean, Sabina, if you could pull up like a couple things for and just for anybody watching live or watching this on video so they can see what we're talking. But I mean, it's great bites from like celebrity chefs and I don't know. It just felt really good. I think that the food and wine scene is evolving and it's adapting to what people want. Realizing that it shouldn't be just kind of the staunchy old school atmosphere. It's got to have all the bells and whistles too. And I mean, if you guys haven't been out to a food and wine event, I mean, you got Pebble Beach, Charleston just happened. Of course, you got the Wine Spectator over in New York. Aspen Food and Wine comes up this summer. That's maybe one of the best out there. That city's beautiful. It's a ton of fun. But if you haven't been to a wine event recently, highly recommend going to an event that is a little more like festival driven.
Well, okay, but so I wasn't there obviously because maybe I was a liability or whatever. But Mardi Gras, you went to New Orleans. Like, tell me about that because it was special. It was kind of special.
That was my first Mardi Gras, and it was funny. I didn't know what to expect. I've been to New Orleans. I think one of the best food cities. Like they've got so much culture that has just remained intact. They got great music with their jazz. They've got awesome food. They like mix Creole cuisine now with a number of other cuisines, but it's really focused on Creole, and that food cuisine is just amazing. The architecture is beautiful, and then of course there's parade season and when leading up to Mardi Gras, and it's like insane. It's not a wine event, but if you haven't been to Mardi Gras and you're looking to just be like wasted for 3 days, I highly recommend it. Just try to stay sober enough to actually enjoy the place. So I arrive at the airport, and I figured TSA wouldn't allow this. They literally had a marching band usher me through the airport. Like, in a way, it was kind of embarrassing because I was like, I don't need a marching band. Like, all eyes are on me, and they give me a bunch of beads to start throwing at people in the airport. So I'm chucking beads into bars at the airport, and like everybody, like all of a sudden turns the party back on.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that kind of experience, though. I mean,
no, I had the honor of being the grand marshal for the crew of Cork in their parade, and so wore a cape. It was, I mean, and you're just going.
We gotta get pictures of that.
I think there are some pictures, but
Yeah.
it's and videos. It was wild, but it was like they have the wine police like on the street during the parade. If you have an empty glass, you get a ticket, and they fill your wine back up. Like they weren't messing around. They've been doing this thing for like 20 years, just this parade, and we had a ton of fun with them. They're all they all love wine, they all love food, and it's this group of like 400 to 500 people, and man, they know how to party, and they're not all like 25 years old. They're like they range up to like 60s, and they're just like still mad at it. Well, what else? I mean, we just did Premiere Napa Valley.
Premiere Napa Valley, yeah.
We just did World of Pinot Noir. That was down down in Santa Barbara, focused on Pinot Noir. And I remember when that event, when I first started, that event was like 15, maybe 20 producers, and like maybe 50 to 75 people, and it was really intimate. Now it's like, I don't know, it's got to be like 300 producers there, and maybe over 1,000 people. Like it's really grown, but that's because Pinot Noir. Before Sideways, Pinot Noir was like not that cool. I was getting into like the not cool game. I was like the loser on the block in the wine world. It's like, oh, you make Pinot Noir.
Yeah,
oh,
you were getting pushed around the halls.
That's too bad. Yeah, it's like that's too bad. Why did you decide to make shitty wine? Like, it's Pinot. It's like the most expressive grape. It's beautiful. It's the best food wine out there, and like. All of a sudden, people, they saw Sideways, and I don't even think it was the movie. I think it was like the press after the movie.
Yeah.
Where Merlot just like, I mean, it fell like off.
Oh, Merlot took a hit, too, right? Like, as
huge
Pinot rose above.
It killed Merlot.
Like, is it back, or?
No. You know what happened? Guess what happened to all the Merlot out there? And the Syrah, and the Grenache, and whatever, like all these kind of big soft reds. All of a sudden, they just started going into this category called the red blend category.
They're just kind of mixed them all together.
Like, all right, well, we can't sell our Merlot, so let's just toss all this shit into a tank and throw the leftovers of this one and that one, and let's see how it tastes. And honestly, it tastes good. It's just quaffable red wine.
I think what you're saying is they became the Long Island iced tea.
That's
wine
great.
World.
I mean, we do make a red blend, but that is
just mix it up. Which we use. Okay, Joe, we do have some history, but we've made some jungle juice in trash cans.
Oh yeah. Those were the days.
Those were the days.
You just get as high a proof as you can, a bunch of fruit, a bunch of fruit juice concentrate. Like, you have no idea what the alcohol is, but it had to be like 50, 60%, and it tasted just fine.
I just want to say what's great about that, though, too, was like the next morning, because it's like it's all gone, but the fruit could be like left. Those watermelons and everything that's been soaking forever. It's like, care of the dog.
Healthy breakfast.
Yes, we're healthy.
Got to get your fruit.
Yeah.
So wine events. Get out there, have some fun.
And the masks are off.
The masks are off.
And you feel good about that, because I know, it's not just with the wine events, but we have you felt it, because like with the restaurant and the wine lounge opening up. I mean, we did this all. I mean, the restaurant was open just prior to the pandemic and stuff. Like, I know that must have been like crazy for you. Right?
It was just crazy. I mean, I think we're all looking back on it now and being like,
all of us. Yeah,
being like, wow. I think a lot of that was just wasted time. Like, most of it, and wasted energy on worrying about something that wasn't really that big of an issue. And finally, government is getting their head out of their ass and starting to ease up on things. So I'm happy to see it. But yeah, it dragged on for probably like at least a year too long. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and now you can see it because people are just like, wow, like
I know. Everybody's out there like,
everybody-
they're like, gas prices are what? I don't care. I'm gonna go have
oh
fun.
my god, what's that? Look at that. Hey, are we gonna do like a little? I thought like because what I was seeing a lot at the festivals and stuff like that, which was great. We just like saw the video on the wax, but like just opening that bottle because I think it's like you have that signature wax bottle of the Bell Gloss wax tip, and I thought we could go grab that. So
I'll just grab
yeah.
these.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. The beautiful red wax dip of Bell Gloss, meant to tell the story of the quality on the inside from the outside, but also have a superior seal. So we do have a lot of people asking, like, how hard is it to get into this? Well, we have a pull tab on here. All you got to do is pull that, and it'll just come right off. But I do want to show you, well, I would show you, but I don't have a bottle opener, because we're a winemaking company, and we don't have bottle openers.
We do everything by hand.
I
I got you, homie.
You got one?
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Yeah,
And I know for all the listeners out here who aren't viewing, this is going to be hard, but if you just take this this clamp part of your wine screw and clamp it over that, and then you just twist it, it just makes it much easier to pop off if you need that extra leverage. So these are some of the tricks we're trying to teach on, things like TikTok and whatever else. And then the beauty of this is that you got this little dot right here that really just shows you where to put that screw, because sometimes people put it off center. It's a perfect target, and just makes it much easier to get into the wine and holds it for a much longer period of time. That's what we're after.
That's awesome, and I know I have a lot past like server experience, and I know the servers in the comments that happen like on our TikToks about that, and like that pull tab like changes the game.
Yeah.
And I also like that all servers also we'd always have the wine keys on us, not like right now in this podcast that we had the wine key on us, but it was fast. But the servers will have it on there, and that grip. That's really cool. I also like. I just think it's really cool about the patent that you had. It was like the
pull tab here with the patent. Yeah, we got a patent on this thing.
Yeah, which is like it's pretty cool because you went to the extra lengths.
We've been trying to sell it to people that use wax. There's just not a lot of people that use wax.
So there's
I'm trying to change it.
No one was.
I love the wax.
Yeah, that's awesome. So,
well, why don't we jump into the next segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I'm in a meeting, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, we're going to do this podcast, but I never really got a chance to really ask. We're building a studio. We're going to have a studio being built, so we're going to be moving up in the world. We're leveling up, but why the hell a podcast, Joe? And why the hell are you putting me through all this shit?
I don't know which one to start with, but I'm going to pick the second question first. So, to put you through this shit, like, I've been doing it for like 40 years. You were like my first friend. I was you were a month old. You're older than me, so.
Okay, well, we don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in detail.
No,
about
it's all right. It's good. It's good to always have somebody who's older than you that you can look up to. So I've been putting you through this shit forever, and so when I was like, I gotta have somebody who like knows shit about me.
That has the dirt.
That has some dirt. That we can like talk through stuff, and also has been around wine for a long time, and so I think it's just much more of an experience when you have like a little more than just like the brass tacks. Because what people should expect from this podcast is, there's going to be some stuff on winemaking, and I hope you all learned something. And feel free to comment to us things that you want to hear about. But there are so many details in the wine world, whether it's grape growing, developing a vineyard, winemaking, packaging, traditional elements of packaging, all the way to the New World packaging, even into distribution, how we sell wine on and off premise, whatever. Like, there's tons of things to talk about on that. Then entrepreneurship, which I feel like I can talk a lot about that, whether it's, I've got all my kids and planning for what the next generation is going to be doing in this and how to transfer that over. But also, how I got into this. And some of the trials and tribulations of starting your own business and then managing your own business. So I think entrepreneurship is something that I can speak to and enjoy speaking about. So that's, I think, something people can expect. We'll have some fun stuff in there too. Horrible bosses. You guys,
Oh,
everybody
yes.
out there, send your send us in the comments any stories you have about horrible bosses, because we want to chastise them and make fun of them, and personally,
Yes.
I'd like to learn again from their mistakes. So that's something that we love your comments on, and the best one every week or two is going to win, and we'll talk about them specifically. We won't mention any names or where you worked or anything, but just kind of like the overall issue that you had to deal with, and maybe what you would have preferred to come out of that situation.
I'm gonna mention names. I can't wait to talk about because my boss right now, gosh, he's like, I mean, he's cool, but and I mean, I dig his hair. I'm actually kind of jealous of
Are you
his
talking
hair.
about
He's
Barry?
really
Are you talking about Barry? It's kind of rude, man. It's
Who
kinda
has
rude.
who has the most hair around? Whoever has the most hair runs this company. I don't know.
Oh man, and then we're also doing some fun stuff.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about recipes, and we are doing the podcast studio, and then we're going to be doing a kitchen podcast as well. So
Heck yeah.
we can do a little more on the food and wine stuff, and that might be a separate segment, separate piece. So we talk about food preparation and that sort of thing, because I think that's, again, tricks of the trade. Can be very simple, but you can make a 5-star meal in your house. Some of the little fun things is like, I've always loved doing flowers, so we're going to be doing a little bit on like floral arrangements. I'm kind of like the Bob Ross of flowers. A happy little willow sprig in here, that kind of thing.
Oh,
We'll get into that in a sec. Yeah, go ahead.
but why the flowers? Because I think can people expect like these like professional flower arrangements in like stores near them soon, like the Joe Wagner like special flower. You have a talent, but I'm saying like just a little short, like how this evolved, like why the flowers?
Because I started when I was like 18 playing with flowers, because I just thought they were beautiful, and they were always a great way to like, impress a date. So I started doing that, but I was like, I don't like buying the pre-made arrangements, because they don't really like mean all that much. I mean, they mean something, but like it's much nicer when you're like, I put this together because it had like a little theme about like what's in season, and is it spring, is it fall, and you can kind of tell a little story about it. And so I started doing it then, and I just felt like it was kind of like a hobby. And there's probably a lot of dudes out there that are like me, and kind of maybe could use a little help at some point in their life, and learn how to put some flowers together.
Why you kind of like just held a gaze with me when you said
I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you, buddy.
You have been helping me actually. I'll have to give you props on that.
And so there's that, and then of course we got one of my other hobbies, and I think it's kind of one of yours too, is gas station mini mart critiques.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to get into that.
And that's going to be a little more like video based, but like I really like judging mini marts, because some of them, especially like more local focused ones, they can have amazing products in there that like you don't see anywhere else, and seeing kind of like how they do that. I mean, you just go to like your regular one, and like they got Gatorade and like 5-Hour Energy and whatever other crap, and like, but it'd be cool if you found one that like actually has like an array of things where you actually had like go on a picnic if you were stopped in there, like a miniature grocery store market. So we'll get into the critiques on that. So now to the why do all this stuff. I think it goes back to the earlier point. Like, I want to help educate people. I want people to have a way to communicate with somebody in the wine business that can ask all the questions that they want, learn from it, and hopefully also get some entertainment value out of it. So that's kind of the main thing for me. I feel like I could be a voice. I mean, it wasn't the thing I originally thought I'd be in this industry, but like I felt like at this point in my life, I can be a voice of guidance for not just entrepreneurs, but also guidance in wine selection and people learning about it, because everybody wants to evolve and learn. And so I'm sitting here with you and talking about this shit.
Yeah, and I'm actually I'm honored to be here, dude. I don't want to make your head too big, but
Well, thanks.
yeah, and I think and also I think we're also here just to be like, let the haters hate, and I hope the people that support and want to like listen in, like, awesome.
We love haters. Bring the hate and bring it with heat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring the heat.
We want to see it.
Like it.
We want
We're
to
not afraid of
answer.
the fire.
We want to answer your hate.
Yes.
Because if you're one of those guys or girls sitting there behind your computer screen thinking that you're all jacked up and you're just jacked up on Mountain Dew and you got some trash to talk, we're here to answer your dumb asses.
Yeah.
So bring it.
And I will say that, like, when we were growing up, I think, like, it was kind of like the theme is you would always be taking us on crazy adventures, and you would always survive, whether it was like motorcycles, doing huge jumps, swinging from trees, playing in the creeks, just being rough, and like, I would always get hurt. But you would always survive, so your comments are going to be great. I might get a little hurt, but I could deal with it. I've gotten a little tougher over the years, so.
All right, well, tune in next time. We are going to jump into a flower arrangement segment, mostly pertaining to the video side of things. So we're going to go grab that right now. But I want to thank you all for listening in. And join us next time for wine, entrepreneurship, and whatever the fuck else.
Whatever the fuck else. The name of the podcast is Go With Your Palate. Wine, entrepreneurship, and whatever.
That's it right there.
The fuck?
Palate meaning like, what you like, what your flavors are, that sort of thing. So, it really is. It's just like more about empowerment. It's something we've been believing in forever at Copper Cane because I make wines that I like, and some people do criticize them because they are like big and rich. And I think at the end of the day, all I care about is that we're making wines that people like. I'm making wines that I'm proud of, and if you don't like them, there are other wines out there for you, and that's you going with your palate. You follow that, and it'll bring you through a realm of wine and maybe even a world tour to learn more about Spanish wines or Italian wines or whatever. And it's a great business. It's a great way to start. It's a great hobby to start in to be able to bring you to another level. And I think going with your palate is where it all starts.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're doing our segment on floral arrangements.
I love it. I love it. This is actually. I like this fire feeling, right? Like you got some orange, yellow lilies.
We don't use that word in California anymore, okay? Fire is not.
Oh, come on, man! But like, that's
let's call
fire.
Let's call it spring. Wait. Like this is a beautiful spring day laid out in front of us. We're gonna assemble it in a happy little vase, and then we're gonna give it to someone we love. That's what we do.
I like that. I hear you. And then we got chamomile.
Got chamomile.
Okay, I love chamomile tea. You like chamomile tea?
I do like chamomile tea. I like coffee better, but yeah. I also got some seasonal stuff here. I brought in, just some stuff that we have here in California. I got some eucalyptus because I really love the color of that. It's like a little blue-green. And then I got pussy willow because this...
You got what?
It's called pussy willow.
Okay. Is it in season?
And it's just starting to push its buds right now. So it's got a little bit of white on the tips coming out. So seasonal stuff. But every time it's different, right? In this case, because we're dealing with lilies, I'm going to start with the lilies because those are going to be like the focal point of this arrangement. So one thing you should always do, if you got to cut off any of this extra foliage, you go ahead and do that, but always give yourself a fresh cut. I want to keep these sprigs as long as possible. Oh. So,
and you got the angle there. I like that.
Always go at an angle.
Always go at an angle.
Yeah, and you can actually do these all like the same time if you really want to. Just try to keep them all the same height.
Okay, so you're kind of at an angle there.
And then you want to kind of place these around the edge. We're gonna alternate. We're gonna go yellow, orange, yellow, orange.
And obviously I've seen you do this multiple times before, and I just want to like remind myself like what you put it in the vase first.
Yeah.
For building, and if you're gonna give it to somebody, you'll still put it in the vase first to build it.
I still will, just because then it kind of like gives you the structure of what you're doing with it all. So in this case, I wanted these to be kind of like right around the edge, the middle of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know this. The lilies have these like the pollen right here.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have allergies. You can cut those off before you put them in here. That's all really up to you. But then sizing is an important thing, right? So like you don't want to put the chamomile here that it's like competing with the lilies, right? So you're gonna be like, I want it to be down here, just kind of giving me like a nice yellow ring around the base.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna say that's gonna be right about there.
So the chamomile being lower is kind of like acting like the hype man of the whole arrangement.
It's like watching the trail of fireworks go up, right?
Okay.
And then you get the explosion.
Yes. Got it.
And you can toss some of those in there too.
Oh, I get to play? Great. You trust me to
I don't really trust you, but I figured, you know, make yourself useful.
Hey, I'm an artist, okay? I know what's going. Look at that. See how I put that in?
Yeah, you can kind of shoot it back at an angle there, like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And we don't need to use all this.
What?
But yeah, we can. I mean, go ahead. There's a little in the front there. You're missing a pocket.
Okay. Well.
Come on. And always turn it around so you can like kind of watch and see where things are going.
Spin it. Yeah, you want to get the full
right.
look.
It's already starting to look full.
It is,
which is great.
Oh, it's looking good.
Next thing we're going to do are some sprigs. This is more filler. I don't think we need to cut these down at all. We actually want to get some of the longer sprigs.
Okay.
So this can like pop up. So yeah, we're good. And just with stemmy stuff, you want to be like really careful you're not damaging the flower below. So we're not going to use too much of the eucalyptus, but I just like that. I mean, like, look at that, like little pink there.
Wow.
There. And then finally, because I like to go vertical sometimes, and things like when you got like pussy willow, this is great, especially this time of year. I'm actually gonna cut these down just, and you want them to be kind of like offset too, just from an aesthetic standpoint. I think it looks a lot better. So we're gonna go tall, medium. Let's drop this one down.
All right, I like how this is all looking. You got the chamomile riding low, like you said. We got some beautiful, they're yellow, and then you have like the yellow-orange lilies. Really looking good, rising up above. We got that eucalyptus in the middle.
And I like going with odd numbers.
And now you're sticking the pussy willow in the middle.
Pussy willow goes in the middle. I'm going to toss 2 more of the pussy willows because I think they look pretty hot.
Yeah. Wait, how many?
Nice tall one.
Can I cut one?
Yeah, Chris, you can go right ahead.
You said.
Go right ahead.
Watch this. I'm gonna get that diagonal cut. Look at that. And I can just look where mine goes. It goes like that. See how it's taller than
That's
yours?
good.
See, mine's the highest. The pussy willow. Right there.
All right, and there you have it. These are gonna bloom pretty soon, but we already got some good blooms on here. But there is our arrangement.
Wow.
Now, what we do next, just another piece of creative you can do. I like to do it in newspaper because I don't know what else people use newspapers for. With the internet. All right, so you're gonna grab this whole bouquet, this arrangement you just did.
Sweet.
And don't worry if there's a little water in it. I like to have weight in the bottom of this thing so that you can, you know, actually, well, so the flower arrangement doesn't fall over. And just go in a diamond pattern. Go a little higher. Wrap the bottom, wrap the edges. I've got a crossword puzzle too.
Oh, okay, I like that. Nice fold, okay. I have to.
And then we're just gonna grab twine. Keep it kind of natural looking because it's kind of like a farmy vibe. I'm just gonna do a simple knot on this too.
Okay, I like it though. You get that farmer's market vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. Looking fresh. Yeah. Oh, I wish I
Spruce it up a little bit here.
Now, do you have like can you like give like yeah, because you're making all these different types of arrangements. Like, is this like got a name to it? Is this like you got an occasion to be like this is perfect for?
Let's call it Fuego en la Primavera.
Ooh. Gosh, that accent.
Means fire in the spring.
And
but I didn't want to say fire because it's a bad word now in California.
And a good occasion could be like to surprise your lady, or your man, or
your man, or whatever,
person, your human,
or your mom, or your grandma. Yeah. Everybody loves flowers.
Everyone loves flowers.
Yeah. So that's it. There's our first arrangement.